Yeah. What's going on, party people? It's your man Griff. Tired. Tired. Okay, what's going on? What screen? What's going on with my stream? Hold on. All right. Woo. What's going on, Frank? Yeah. Yeah. Hit the like button, y'all, when you're coming in the door. Oh man. If I fall asleep on y'all, don't get mad at me. Okay? I'm serious. I am. Tiiered. Tired. But we got to talk about it, y'all. We got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. Stuff that I was looking for. I don't. Oh, there it is. Starting to rain here. Had to run outside and take care of something for the wife real quick before hopping on live. And started raining. Of course, you know the glasses get all drizzled up and everything. Had to make sure got my water and everything. Got my Krispy Kreme. I got that. Got that popping tonight. Got my Krispy Kreme. So got too much glare coming off of that thing. I gotta figure that out. But yeah, so hold on, let me check something. I'm just letting some folk get on up in here before we get started. And I'm just shift videos up. Okay. Automatic. Okay. All right. Oh, I can turn that off. Okay. Okay. All right. So I think we good to go. Okay. Okay. Whew. And yeah, Q man, I've been busy Q, so I'm gonna get everything straight this weekend for you on that website project. I just had to deal with some stuff, take care of some stuff here on the home front. I got all that squared away, so I'm good now. So I'll finish that up and everything this weekend. What's going on, Priscilla? Hold on. Get my comments up here for my party people and everything. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, supporting the channel. You got my man Frank from Lower Alabama. See, every time you making me want to go to Lower Alabama. I need to figure out where Lower Alabama at and just go hang out down there. So, what's going on now? What's going on, Priscilla? She out there in California. All right, we got one of our new channel members here. She's up there in Richmond. Yeah, we got to get on the phone and talk, lady. We really do. So probably if you got some time Sunday, we need to get together. We need to get together and chop it up and see how you coming along in this business and what your plans are and all that. Now, you might, if I've already talked to you, please forgive me. It's because I be forgetting sometimes and all of that and everything. Good to see you there, Tanya. We got Jaylene. I hope I'm always be wondering if I'm saying that right. We got my man Q in the house, relocated down there to Florida. Like I said, I'm gonna get you all squared away this weekend, man. So I had to knock out some stuff over the last 2 weeks, and I think I'm pretty much good to go now. So appreciate y'all hitting the like button and all that good stuff. And yeah, we're gonna chop it up because I didn't know really it was so many. It's always I always got something to talk about, but today was interesting because I didn't really get hardly any notifications at all. Maybe just a little over 10. And I also talk still. Oh yeah, still sound weird to be down in Florida. Yeah. So one of the things I was at the FedEx dropping documents off, and I ran across a real cool guy named Clarence. And I've seen him before, and me and him was talking. He's also full time in the business, and we was talking about notifications and all that. And he admitted that it was a little slow today, and getting a lot of last minute, like get it done within the next 2 hour type of deals. And I was like, yeah, so that's the adjustment we're going to have to make here in Virginia, the Hampton Roads area, is your orders you get in, you're gonna probably have to be ready to do them within 2 hours. So you're gonna have to be quick, fast, and in a hurry and get that stuff done. So yeah, I said, we gotta talk about it. That's why I played around, found a thumbnail, put up there to indicate and all of that. So my man said, damn, Mobile, Bayou, La Batterie, Forrest Gump country. Okay. I like gator, man. I do like that gator meat, so I might have to hop on that gator. If you got some gator down there, some fried gator, I hop on that all day, every day. Love me some gator. What's going on, Dreams? Good to see you coming from Florida. Priscilla, good to see you. Yep, I'll say hello. She's downstairs on the Zoom talking to some to a friend of hers and everything. Got a member. All right. Yeah, if you want to be a channel member, just click the link where it says join. Next Saturday, we're going to be doing some training. The training is really member led. Of course, I can always talk about stuff, but whatever y'all want to discuss, ask questions about, you're struggling with things. And as always, people who are channel members, if you need me to do a document review with you when you get an order, and it doesn't matter whether it's general notary work or loan closing, if you get any kind of order that requires you to do your notarial business on it, and you're a little stuck on it, you're a little iffy, give me a call. And if you got general notary, of course, sometimes you don't get the documents. Give me a holler if you get stuck on something, if you're a channel member, and I'll be more than happy to help you out. Okay. And many people have called me when they're doing stuff, they cover the name, send me a screenshot, or sometimes they'll get me on the phone with the customer, with the people who have them there doing a will power of attorney. We talk things through, make sure we understand what it is they're trying to do. Because sometimes they'll be just given some documents from an attorney and don't know what to do, no instructions or anything. So we try to help them out with all of that and everything. So that's what we do with the channel membership, as well as many other things. Personalized, some members only videos and things of that nature. So hop on over and feel free to join for as long as you want. You don't have to be on be a member forever. You can be, some people hop on for 1 month, go off, and then they come back. It's completely up to you. Completely up to you and everything. So hopefully my video is not acting up too much, because on my end it seems to be a little shaky. But we're gonna press on through and all of that good stuff. So yeah, these notifications, y'all. Today has been like the quietest day for me. It's been so quiet. I mean, super quiet. Hardly any notifications whatsoever. And this month, it's been slowly ticking down, getting quieter and quieter. And if you go out and listen to people who are really into the real estate market, they're letting us know what's going on. Okay. So let me share my screen with y'all to show y'all a couple of people that I listen to get an idea about what's going on in the real estate market. They've been accurate, they've been on point. And it's been helping me to really understand and being able to pay attention to what's going on in the market. Okay. And all of that. So this first one here is Saks Realty, and on each one I've dropped the link in the description, in the comment section here. Their YouTube channel. He's a good person to listen to. This here, This video here, garbage loans are back. That one right there is let me zoom in a little bit so y'all can see. This one right here, garbage loans are back. That one is very, very good because he's breaking down what the mortgage process is when it comes to selling the loan. So if y'all know in the loan documents, okay, so new people in the loan document, you'll have the 4506C and you'll have the W-9, those tax forms. Those tax forms, which they've already filled out, are in for when they go to sell the mortgage so that they can pull the tax records for those buyers, meaning the people who are now going to be servicing them. Something that he talked about in that video I did not know because I'm not a mortgage person. Priscilla, this young lady here, she probably know because she's an underwriter. What's happened is that Fannie and Freddie, whoever FHA, they create the mortgage and then they sell it to a servicer. Well, apparently, when people are not able to pay their bill on their mortgage, sometimes they sell it back to the people who they got it from. And that causes a whole big mess of things that the company's like, okay, we selling it back. Well, what happens is, and I've talked about this a while back, they start scrutinizing the loan and start checking out the loan officer, all the paperwork, everything, which means they could be also looking at did the notary do things right. So this is why it's important for you to understand how to properly notarize these documents or the signatures on these documents. I keep saying it wrong. Notarize the signatures on the document, fill out the notarial area so that if there was something unscrupulous going on, you don't get caught up in it. That if they check to see what the notary did, the notary is straight. They might have lied, the loan officer, the title, the signing company ain't got nothing to do with this. The person who's getting the loan could have lied and they found out, oh, you lied. Now you can't pay your mortgage. What the heck is going on? Let's check this thing out. How did this slip by that you ... But they can pull in and say, okay, well, the notary. And I'm saying this because y'all know that there are times, y'all heard me talk about it, when you have people with different names, meaning the wife she's now married and you didn't check to verify her married name is on the documents. She's married, I'm sorry. She's married now with Smith, but on the documents they have her as Jones. Or they're doing a refinance, and when they bought the property, they wasn't married, and her name was Smith, and now they're married. Her name is Jones, and they want her to sign Tamara Smith, aka Tamara Jones or FKA Tamara Jones, and they want her to actually sign both of those names, and they want both of those names notarized because they have them in a notarial certificate. Ooh, you better make sure you follow your state laws on how you identify. In Virginia, we need to see ID in both the names. If I don't see valid ID in both the names, which more than likely you don't have valid ID in two different names unless it's a passport that hasn't expired, then I need a credible witness or I personally know you. So if they see that the notary didn't do something correct, guess what? When that person stops paying their mortgage and it gets under review, you might get snatched up if they find out that you did something wrong. You said not surprised homeowners are not budgeting and prices are 300% over market price. That is correct. I could be wrong, but that almost sounds similar to a quick claim deed. Well, yes, on some quick claim deeds, but if if Mary Jones bought the house, then she got married, and now her name is Mary Smith, they're going to want her to sign the deed, the new deed, in her old name and new name, identifying that Mary Jones is now Mary Smith. Okay. That's what they want. The problem is, one, they don't tell us ahead of time. They don't tell them ahead of time. And then they will tell us, and y'all remember I did a video about this, and I wish I have to pull it up or find it. But I did a video about this where they told me, well, we've already verified her, so just go with what we said. And it's like, no, I can't go with what you said because I'm bound by my state law to verify the IDs, the identity in this particular manner. And if I'm not confident that that person who's signing as Mary Jones is Mary Jones or was Mary Jones or whatever the case may have been, then I'm sorry, I can't roll with it. And they get upset because you're trying to follow your state law. They don't know your state law, so that becomes a problem for some of these entities out here, mainly the title escrow company and the lender. And it becomes a problem for the signing company because now they're like, you're being difficult. Everybody else just signs it. You can't do that. You see what I'm saying? It causes a major, major problem. So that particular video is very, very good. And I was like, okay, got it. If you're in California, you need to understand what's going on out there. I'm telling you, look at this gentleman's videos. He has some very good information. He's a mortgage broker in Maryland and he knows his stuff. Next person, my favorite, my all-time favorite, Orlando Minor. I'm gonna tell you, my man here, he's been predicting it on point for his Airbnb, all of that. This one here, every notary that's in here, whether live now here or coming in, you need to listen, you need to look at this video about being scammed because a lot of y'all have been scammed. I've been scammed in the past, not recently, but I'm telling you, you need to look at that because he breaks it down. This year, talking about Airbnb shutting down, talking about the housing market collapse, why do people leaving Florida? The insurance rates are kicking up. So that's a huge thing. And I've done probably more Florida closings than a little bit this year, especially the last 3 months. So his videos, his channel is very good. Let me drop that in there. So y'all need to check his stuff out. Okay, y'all really need to check his stuff out. He had a real good one about rents crashing. People can't afford their house, all kinds of stuff. And it was one that he had talked about insurance. Where is it? Where is it? It was one. Oh, this one about people talking about not doing student loans. Um, oh man, where the heck is it? It was one that he was talking about. It's somewhere in here. I can't remember the name. Where basically the companies are basically telling people to come back and to the office, and they're going to lose. And basically, they're going to lose the value of the. Oh, here it is. Come back. People losing $100,000 in mortgage value, or really just on the sale of their house because their company is telling them to come back. They're like, you got to come back in the office, but they living in Boise, Idaho, and their office is in California, and that right there is causing part of the collapse too. So he has a real good channel. This one here, he's very data driven, so you got to really listen to him. And if you're in Texas, he really handles the market in Texas. Gives very, very good information. Has some really good lives I hop in on from time to time, listening to him. So this one is very good. What else? What else? And I'm 100% correct. I believe you're talking about on that searching, going back and looking through the mortgages and stuff and selling them back. Yeah. Real estate mindset. All right. This is it. I'm telling y'all, listen, y'all, you gotta stop playing around. Go check these channels out. Leave the shade room alone. Leave all the gossip stuff alone and get your mind right for this real estate market. I'm telling you, okay? And then now, this one doesn't have anything to do with real estate or anything that we do directly, but He's a certified financial planner, and he really delves into scam culture out here. And of course, he look. I'm telling you, if you listen, I listened to this whole 2 hour. I didn't. It was a live, but I didn't get in there. I didn't listen to it live, so I listened to it later. If you listen to him when he talks about the scamming stuff that's going on out here, I just want you to put the word notary in there also, because a lot of the stuff he's talking about. Let me hop back over here with y'all for a second. Hold on. Let me get his Let me get his channel and then pop this in here. Yeah, he is on point, and a lot of. I'm gonna tell y'all. Yeah, his lives are long, like mine, but I'm telling you, some of the stuff that he talks about, I see in this notary thing here. I see it. Same way that they pull people in and tell people, get you all hyped up and pumped up. The only difference is that they're not selling you a physical product like real estate scams or Bitcoin or let's do it for the culture, or let's invest in this and NFTs and all of that kind of stuff. It's a little different here. It's a little different here, but they're using some of the same tactics and techniques. And the sad part is those individuals out there might not even realize it. I think some of them do, but a lot of them don't realize it. Hey, what's going on, Latanya? And I saw your comment. Oh, and I meant to respond back. I got to respond back to your comment. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm gonna respond back sometime this weekend. But it was a great comment that you left when I was talking about the color printer thing, the color scanner, not printer, scanner. But good to see you there, lady. Good to see you. One of the best notaries. This lady here, one of the best notaries up there in the Williamsburg area. When look, I give her all the credit because when I first got started, she doesn't come down on my side of the water. So, people would call and she would refer them to me. Before we ever talked and met or anything, she would refer them to me. And I was like, okay, who is this Latanya? And I had to look. I'm like, she really helped me get started in this business also, whether she realizes it or not, because she had enough confidence and trust in me, never talking to me directly at that time, and was like, oh, Griff will take care of you. Oh, you down there in his area? Give Griff a call. And people will call me up and say, hey, yeah, Latanya Wallace told me to call you because you're a good notary and you'll take care of me. I guess, yeah, okay, I will. I'm like, yeah, she said it. Whoever she at the time, I mean, it was like, okay, whoever this woman is, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I got you covered and everything. So yeah, so she's a wonderful, wonderful person. Wonderful person. Really appreciate her, and the order she sent my way gave me confidence that also that I could do this business. And I don't talk about it a lot, but Tanya Wallace, she's top quality. She got me started. But y'all need to listen to JT. Y'all need to look at this and just go through and listen. And some of the stuff he's saying, you be like, well, Griff said that. Because I'm talking the same language about this scam stuff, about this getting over on people thing, and I'm like, some of the stuff they're doing out there matches what I hear and see with the notary business. That one of the things is that people get so caught up, and we're gonna get on the notifications thing. People get so caught up that they end up doing more of pushing other people's products and things than actually doing the business that they came into and all of that. So now the notifications. Part of the reason why, the main reason why the notifications have slowed down, have been slowing down, is because the economy is really hit hard with 8.2, I think, or more, might even be 8.6 interest rates. And that's for people who got good credit. For people who got good credit, the interest rates are running about 8%. Then you have people not reducing their prices on the house. So the potential homeowners like, I'm not buying anything. That's too much. I got 8% interest rate. You want $200,000 more than what it's really worth. No, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not buying that. So the mortgage applications have like darn near dried up. So far this week, this month, it has, and it ain't. September was very, very poor. So what happened in September is rolling over into October. And if they don't get mortgage applications popping, some things, whatever, in this month, it's going to be even worse next month. So that's why I've been telling y'all, you got to take the orders that comes your way. I don't care what all of these other cats say, these trainers and all of them. A lot of them ain't out here in the streets like that. They sitting back, making their money the way they're making it, and it has nothing to do with doing closings. So you got to get out here and do it. I'm doing a ton of HELOCs. They're paying $50 to $100. I'm knocking them out. No ifs, ands, or buts. HELOC comes in, I'm hopping on it. It's that simple. Are there some refinances? Yes, there are people refinancing out of desperation because they have to go and refinance. People were refinancing 2 months ago primarily because they got a divorce and they was getting the one spouse name off, or they were just selling the property sometime, but they were refinancing mostly to get one person off the loan, or to pay them off and things of that nature, or to get them off the deed if they weren't on the loan. Now I'm just seeing refinances because people are like desperate and they're refinancing out of a 3% into a 7 or 8%. And they don't like it, but this is what they gotta do. So that means what? I need to be available to them in order to make that happen. And I got my custard donut here. hmm Couldn't find my fritters. I probably got out there too late. And everything. Matter of fact, I know I did because I didn't get these until about 2 hours ago. So, mm. so the notifications are slowing up. I would say stay out of Notary Cafe for 5 years. Let me tell y'all something. For 5 years, that's all you hear in Notary Cafe. Now, for anybody who's been in the business for at least 5 years, tell me when, if you heard say something or anything, when have you not heard them complain in Notary Cafe that the prices are low? For 5 years, from 2018 to this moment in time right now, that's all I've ever heard from new notaries who go into Notary Cafe. I don't even mess with them no more. I don't mess with Notary Cafe no more. And mainly because somebody asked a question in there, and all I did was posted a link to a video, either to one of my videos or to my YouTube channel. And then next thing I know, I'm getting a notification from whoever runs Notary Cafe talking about, yeah, people said you're spamming them. No, what it is, there was some little, there was some people in there that didn't like the fact that I will say, take the orders. Whether it's $60, $50, $100, take the orders so you can get experience. They're telling you not to take them. And see, this is what doesn't make sense with these cats in Notary Cafe. How is it for 5 years, all you can say to a new notary is, don't take that order. Don't take that order. Don't take that order. And if you're always getting quote unquote lowball, then what's wrong with you? It must be something wrong with you. Who are you hooked up with that constantly paying you quote unquote low? And what is low? You see what I'm saying? Some of them are old head notaries who've been in the business way before it got all like this here. Now, Latanya says, I've gotten high fees from Notary Cafe. It's not often, but I'm not offering low fees. You see what I'm saying? And these people talking about they don't like these low fees. What are they talking about? What do they deem as a low fee? A low fee. What is the criteria? You know, and again, when people start talking about the printing and this and that, all of those are tax deductions that we get. So here you got all these tax deductions. Your printing, your ink, your paper, all of that, your pens, everything, not my donuts. All of these things you get to write off. Your mileage, you get to write off $5, well, at least in Virginia, $5 for every time you stamp. In some states, it's $10, 15, or 25. So whatever the price is, you get to deduct that from self-employment. So if you got $100 and you did 5 stamps, and those 5 stamps, your state says you get to the maximum dollar amount you can charge for a face-to-face notary stamp is $10. Well, that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So that's $50 that you get to deduct from the $100 at self-employment tax free from self-employment tax, which means you only get taxed on the 50. So how is it bad? I mean, if you want $300 per signing for that means you're going to be paying taxes on $250 versus paying tax on $100. And what it is, in my opinion, for some people, they don't really want to work that hard with this notary business because they've seen all the flash and all of the pop locking. So they're like, I just want to do like them. I want to make $400 a signing or an assignment like they said on TikTok, and then I can sit back and I can be in somebody's super cool kids club. But reality is, you got to get out here and work this thing. Can you get $200? Can you demand it? Yeah, in certain cases, depending on where you're at, if you're the only notary, if depending on the type of clientele they have, because you got title companies that are probably low fee title companies. They charge their people who they do work for a lower fee, which means they're going to pay a notary lower fee. So you have those things. People need to understand the difference between a reasonable fee and a low fee. Correct. Correct. And nobody talks about what's reasonable. Some of the HELOCs that I do off of $50. I got one of the HELOCs I did today. I did 2 HELOCs. One was for $50 that had about 30 some pages, 60 some pages in it. And then one I did was for 70, I believe, and that had like 30 some pages. Why? I don't know. I don't know. And I had about the same number of notarizations, all of that. It is what it is. But what I know is this: I made some money today. I made money to take care of the family. That's what matters. So these notifications are slowing up. The reason why they're slowing up is because things are getting tight in the market. Now, what can you do? Just be ready to rock and roll. There is no magic way of making notifications come. There's no magic way of making people pick you except when you get the opportunity to do a closing, you go do it. So now you got to take what you can get. And that's why I say 60% of the money that I make each month comes from orders of $100 or less. If I didn't take those orders, I wouldn't be making any kind of real money for this business. Now you can take that for what it's worth. And that can be a problem. And then another reason why you can be having lack of notifications. Let's say you got all these notaries who are real uppity and they're like, I ain't taking this, I ain't taking that. Well, that signing company could end up going out of business because they can't get anybody to do work. And then what happens? The title company says, well, if you can't get anybody to do work, we're going to move on from you. There's a signing company that I ain't heard nothing from since June. Haven't seen a notification since June. That's a while. So I don't know. They might be out of business. So when we keep constantly saying no, 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 I'm not doing these orders, guess what? That company has to report back to their client. I can't find a notary. Can't find a notary. All right, we go. And then they leave them alone. Now, guess what? What if that signing company was one of the few that was operated in your area? Now you have no more notification because that company, we essentially put them out of business by not doing work for them, which meant they look bad to their client and their client got to part ways with them. And then let's say they pull in another signing company. You say, well, we'll start working with that one. Well, what if they've already got 50 people who they're preferred and you're not one of them because they wasn't dealing with you before? Let's just say they got notaries who are okay with taking a little bit lower fee than you, whatever your lower fee is. You see what I'm saying? What if they're not? What if they're 50? Like, yeah, we'll work with you, got you, no problem. So let's just say they're like, yeah, we'll do 75. Okay, and they're cool with that. And you're like, nah, I want 95, I want 100. They're not gonna pick you. You see what I'm saying? So then guess what? You're not gonna be getting any notification. So all of these are factors with regard to why you're not getting notifications. So it can be self-inflicted, it can be industry inflicted. But the thing is, when you do get a notification opportunity, you need to take advantage of it. That's why I keep my phones with me 24 hours a day. As much as I don't like running around with a phone strapped in my hand all the time, the moment that I ain't nobody gonna send me a notification and you run down and say, bing, 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 and I done missed 3, 4, 5 of them. So now wherever I go, my phone comes with me. It comes and sure enough, out of the blue, I'm getting a daggone notification. That's how I've been staying in. That's how I've been staying in with this here. So let me see here. So what's going on, Caprinas? It says notifications have dried up for me. Did 2 closings today. This company. Yeah. Yeah. And like my man Q had said, there's no regulations over the signing company. Nobody regulates them. Nobody, there's no checks and balances with them. No state regulation, no nothing. I don't understand why people won't listen to you, talking about me, and see how the market is down. Just take what is available, people. That's what you got to do. I got a notification on SnapDocs and encountered that the location was too far. The signing company called me and said, how is the signing too far? It's only 9 minutes away. Yeah, how is that too far? You told them 9 minutes away was too far? Come on now. You for real, for real? You for I will call you too. Like, how you it's 9 minutes from you. It's 9 minutes. You gotta elaborate on that. Was it really just 9 minutes from you and you said that was too far? I hope not. I hope not. Please clarify. Please, please. Yes, I started out with signing company when I first started Loan Docs. It was good for a couple of years, but then they dropped and advised business was slow. They reached out to me a week ago after 3 years. Yeah, I mean, that's what happens. That's what happens. So you're gonna see all types of orders and stuff. I mean, oh man, I'm still. Are you really 9 minutes away? And you said that. Okay, so now the question becomes. So now the question is, what type of order was it for $45? What was it that they wanted you to do for $45? That's the real question. That's what you got to tell us now. Was it a loan modification, debt settlement? Was it a purchase? What was it that they wanted you to do for $45? That's the question. That's the question. 9 minutes away from your home, or where the order, right? You could have been another order, and they could have been basing it off of 9 miles from, 9 minutes from your house, which still you got to go back home and print anyway, unless you got your mobile printer. But the question is, okay, that now see, okay, I've been hearing this. I don't understand why everybody with a loan application is asking for, because me and you also need to tell. I need to know how much more did you ask for? Okay, because you said you asked for more money. I need to know. I really need to know how much were you trying to get paid for doing a loan application? Because with the loan application, there's nothing to notarize. You typically only print one copy. You may have to scan back some documents from them. You can use your phone scanner, the Adobe Scan, to do that. And a lot of times they don't want you. Sometimes they just tell you just to scan everything back and not even ship anything out. So right, yeah, because see, why not say the fee was too the low instead of the location too far? Because now that's confusing them, and honestly, that can make you look bad to the signing company. Um, that can make you look bad because like, okay, wait a minute, what kind of game you playing? Because here's the thing: a lot of times, if you take the loan application and you already got a low number of notaries still doing the business, guess what? If everything goes through with that loan, if they get approved for that loan, they need somebody to do the closing. And there's a high probability now that could be you. But you're saying, no, I can't do a loan application which has no notarizations. You're just watching them sign. And I hear people talking about, well, I got to print two. I've never, and Latanya, you tell me also, I've never had to print two copies of a loan application. 100 pages. That's standard for you to collect. You're collecting. They're just giving you papers. See, this is you counted for 70 because it was 100 pages. 100 pages to print is not that expensive because it only runs about 3 cents. And I did a video on that. It runs about 3 cents a page. So you're talking about 0.03 times 100. You're only talking about $3 worth of printing. Okay, now unless you went out and bought some expensive paper, you see what I'm saying? Now, my question then is right. And see, Latanya says here, where is it? She says she's never had to print two copies. So if you're in those Facebook groups and they're talking that smack, and then you're like, well, yeah, I'm gonna do it too. You're listening to the wrong people. You're listening to the wrong people, and you're hurting yourself. I keep telling people to go take orders, and then a lot of y'all who here that come in, y'all hear me, and I know what y'all doing. Y'all like, okay, well, I ain't listening to the grip because you got some dude, some Frederico or some Miranda or whoever in a Facebook group sitting up here bragging about how they got somebody to pay them this, that, or the other. They could be just flat out giving you cap, but because you and it could be you or other people feel this way, I need to make money. You believe them and you say, well, I'm gonna try it too, and then you don't get the order. Now I'm assuming the question is, did you get the order? Did you get the order? And I'm not trying to be mean, playing. I'm not trying to be mean, but what I'm trying to do, because this here is a real thing with loan applications, I've talked about this. Here's the thing about loan applications. Everything starts with that. If the loan application doesn't get done, If the signer's like, well, okay, y'all having a hard time getting somebody to get out here tonight, I don't want it. I'm gonna just go to my bank. If they go to the bank, guess what? The bank don't use, very rarely do those banks use mobile notaries. So now the loan still happens, the closing still happens, but it's happening in their office with the bank or their local title office who may not use mobile notaries. I need y'all to think bigger picture here. If you got a company elsewhere, Loan Depot, Mr. Cooper, Nation Star, all of them, Navy Fed, whoever, saying we're going to, because sometimes Navy Fed loans will use the mobile notary. And you're saying, well, no, you need to pay me more. Well, that's how we get the closings. The closings come from the loan application. And I'm not trying to be mean because I would say this no matter what, no matter who it is, whatever. You sometimes you just got to go do it to find out how bad it is, if it's bad at all. Just go do it. Just you might find out, okay, okay, you did it for 60. She said it would call me, and that's good. But my thing is, and more than likely, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why they did that. They gave you because they probably was desperate. But I'm gonna tell you, if things start popping again, you're not gonna be able to get away with that. You're not, because that might be 60, that might be that extra money coming out of their pocket. And yeah, they probably was desperate. I'm gonna tell you now, they probably was like, okay, yeah, we just need to get this done. A VA loan application. I've seen I've seen requirements, no notarization, only print on one, maybe double check this, that, and the other. And you still make money. You still make money, because see, the question then becomes, if you're trying to get 100 for a loan application, then how much do you want for the 185 page that you got to print out twice closing? Because now are you going to ask for $200? Because see, here's the thing, and this is just the way I look at it. If I'm telling them to give me $100 for a 45 page loan application that I only got to print once, I don't have no notarizations, then what should be my fee for 185 page closing documents? And VA loan documents sometimes can be up to 200. So I'm saying 185 at the low end. So you're talking about 200 pages, and especially if it's Orange Coast lenders. So you do something with Orange Coast lenders, you look at, or sometimes bill of title, you looking at 200 pages. So now, if they offer you 125, print those documents out twice, and to do about 13 notarizations, do you push back and say, nope, nope, I ain't doing it. I want more. Because because when you see how the math works here. So if you can get it, cool, get it. But the question is, if you get the closing, how much do you want to get paid to do 185, 90 pages, print it twice? That's the question. How do you make that? Because 100 pages is worth 70. You get what I'm saying? So that's the question here, because here's the bigger question. And this isn't to you, Cap. I mean, Chap. This isn't to you. This is just in general. And I was talking to the guy Clarence today about this. When we talk about how much money we want to make, is it so we can just party it up? Is it so we can use it to go to the next conference or next get together? Is it so we can recoup what we spent on that previous conference and get together and books and memberships and stuff and mentor? What is the purpose of us trying to make the money that we're trying to make? Did we spend too much money getting in this business and now we're trying to recoup it? Or are we actually trying to make money so that we can put it in a bank and save it up or to pay some bills? What is it? Because at a certain point, it's like, how much is enough? When is it enough for you to say, okay, this qualifies as the right fee for me? What makes that happen? Because I think sometimes people are basing it on the wrong things. And again, this ain't for you, chap. This is just in general. I think sometimes we're basing how much we should get paid on the wrong thing, because the level of effort that we have to put into our W-2, we don't ever go at people like that in our W-2. We just accept what they give us and we keep it going. And they ask us to do way more than what is required for a 100-page loan application. Way more. What we have to do in our day-to-day job and what we have to sacrifice for that, and we're willing to take that little 0.5% pay raise, and we take it and we keep going. And the effort that we have to put in from January 1 through December 31st to get that 0.5% pay raise is way more than what we have to do for an hour to go do a loan application, an hour to do closing. I'm telling you, when you run the numbers, when you look at it, we put more effort into doing our day job, that W-2, than, in my opinion, than what we would do with this year. Yeah, we got to print papers, but there's so much more that you have to do to get ready for your job on a day-to-day basis. And they don't and there's no compensation for any of that. You don't get no gas allowance, you don't get no gas deductions, you don't get nothing in the W-2 world. And the tax code and everything is built for business owners. It's built to help business owners profit and move forward. But if you're not moving, if you're not working and taking orders and doing stuff to move forward financially in the business, then how can you take advantage of what the government provides for businesses? So I'm happy you got the 60. And if you can keep getting it, get it. But my question would be, what do you want for the closing and everything? Until people understand the cost of doing business, including paying yourself, they won't understand how much is needed to run a profitable business. Correct. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm the only channel. Let me pull it up. Let me just pull it up. It's best for me to pull it up. Let me pull it up. Where is it? Oops. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Where the heck is it? Oop. Man, I keep clicking the wrong button. Oh, here we go. That's why I'm the only channel. And you see these interviews? I got interviews with people out here that will help you understand this business, especially my tax guy. Well, my tax guy, Rob Turner, I'm telling you, he will get you straight for us how to make sure you're doing right with your money in this business. Okay? I'm telling you, I got information out here. Y'all got to stop listening to these folk out here that's just telling you to do stuff, because it's not always about keep getting paid more money, more money, more money. You can get paid high fees, but if you don't understand how to take advantage of the tax part, if you don't understand, like what Latanya is saying here, understand the cost of doing business and taking advantage of those things and doing that stuff right, having the right structures and all of that, tax man gonna spank that behind. And there are a lot of people they won't talk about it because it's embarrassing. They made $200, $300 per sign. And when the tax man came a knocking, microphone was way over there, all out of order. Good microphone picking me up. When the tax man comes a knocking, I'm just saying. So again, I'm all for people getting it. Just make sure you have the right concept and right understanding behind it across the board. Okay. So get a chance, look at that. The business interviews in my playlist, and you will, I'm telling you, you'll be like, oh, okay, yeah. You'll be like, yeah, I got it now. I'm telling you, there's some good information in there. Now, feel free to drop any questions that y'all have for anything about this business, about whatever you want, and all of that. I think many don't understand basic business in general. Many times, first 4 or 5. See, you're like one of the few people that says that. A lot of people are looking for a return on investment instantaneously because you see all of these people bragging and pop locking and this, that, and the other, which is another reason why you're not seeing notifications because the signing companies got out here thinking that they was going to instantaneously recoup their cost to get into signing company business, and they're not making that money, and and they overspent, and they went the wrong direction financially. They didn't negotiate good fees from the title company. They just took what they gave them some cases, and now they're hurting, and they had to get out of this business. But a lot of people don't realize it takes 4 to 5 years to really, if you're running the business right, actually gain a profit to get to profitability. But if but everybody thinks that, oh, the moment you start working, every order has to be a profit. I do an order for 85, that I have to have a profit of no more than $80. I had to spend no more than $5 to do the order. That's not necessarily going to happen. So if you have the wrong concept of it, then it can affect you, which means if you're constantly telling people you got to pay me more, they're going to be like, we can't pay you anymore. And if you looked at my interview that I did with Marcy from Professional Notary Services today, if I can't pay you anymore, I can't pay you anymore. And every now and then they're willing to sacrifice just to get the order because they're looking at, they might got 1,500 of these loan applications or 1,500 other orders, and I can't lose another order. It can make me look bad. And so what other questions y'all got? What other concerns about this business, about notifications, about anything with this business that y'all got going on? Because it's a whole lot that's out here. One of the things that you're going to have to do, you're going to have to make up your mind how you plan on moving as a business owner. You're going to have to make up your mind and you're going to have to start checking these people who got all this advice. I mean, we got all these people doing this stuff on YouTube, making it seem like it's one way and it's not, and it's another way. Um, and all of that. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Tracy G. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for all you do and for pushing through doing these lives. You appreciate it. Yeah, I'll be tired. I'll be tired. But I want to make, because not to, I know a lot of other live people who do lives, they just sitting up here bragging just to sell you something. They up here making, maybe inadvertently making you feel bad about not being where they're at. I'm never trying to make you feel bad about not being where I'm at. I think I'm where I'm at because this is where I need to be at for us financially, and I'm doing what I need to do. I'm trying to encourage you to get to where you feel you need to be at, regardless of where I'm at. Because where I'm at should not affect where you're at. And where I'm at, if you want to use it as a piece of motivation, okay, cool. But I always encourage people to set their own goals. So I get out here to do these lives, to get on YouTube, to encourage y'all, to try to find a way to push y'all towards excellence and to have the right perspective of business and not get caught up in the amenities and all the trinkets of life. And if you're running business based off of how much stuff you want to get, unless you just got it that way elsewhere in your life where, okay, I'm making money over here and this is just going to be my play money, cool. Then be transparent and tell people this is my play money business. Okay. This business is just for me to have play money. I'm just in it just for play. Okay. That's it. I'm trying to help those of you who are trying to make this thing really work because some of you got things going on in your life that you need this. You really need this. And a lot of these trainers out here don't get it. A lot of them really don't get it, and a lot of them really don't care. And I know people keep asking, well, what trainers you talking about? Any trainer that's not moving you toward being a good notary, that's who I'm talking about. Any trainer that's constantly focusing more on stuff and what else you can buy from them, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. They're going to teach what they teach, they're going to do what they do. But what do you need to have happen in your life in order for you to be where you need to be at as a great notary for the companies that's paying you? Because here's the thing you need to realize none of those companies, none of those trainers are paying you to do this business. You're paying them to help you to understand how to do it. So who's paying me is who I need to make sure that I'm where I need to be. I'm AJ squared away for that person. I'm AJ squared away for the person that's paying me, not for the person I'm paying. The person who I'm paying needs to be squared away for me, but a lot of times they aren't. Because when I go to call them, when I go to email them, when I go to text them, I get nothing back. And I'd be doggone if I'm going to pay somebody and they can't respond back to me. Now, things can happen, lose a phone, this, that, and the other. Got it. But for some of them, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. Let me see here. So the time you said, I have considered starting a signing service, and the only reason why I have not is because so many notaries are caught up into doing what all of these trainers say to do rather than doing what their state says to do as a notary. They're listening to the trainers and they're trying to implement what the trainers are telling them to do, and the trainers got them doing stuff that a lot of signing companies don't like. And I've talked to signing company owners and their support staff, and they don't like a lot of the things that notaries are doing. They don't like the fact that notaries are just constantly no fee is ever good enough. And this isn't at chap. This isn't at chap. This is just period. And those of you who've been following me, y'all know I talk about this. There that nobody is ever satisfied, no matter what the fee is never good enough. And case in point, great question, Latanya. Case in point, Marcy from Professional Notary Services talked about how she has commercial loans that she does at 275 to 300. It normally takes an hour to do. And I know that because I've done them. And I did two in 1 week, couple of weeks ago for her. One of them was on Ron. And she said she did one lady did one for her, and it took a little longer than 2 hours. The woman wanted more money. I wasn't saying woman in a derogatory way, just saying it was a woman, a lady. She wanted more money. Marcy told her, I don't have any more to give you. And she said, I don't want to do it no more. I don't want to work with you no more. That's what the notary said to her because she's getting 275 to 300. You've done 5 or 6 or 8, 10 signings, and they were all a hour or less. So you'd have made good money for an hour or less work, and then the one time that it takes a little bit longer, you having a fit. How many of you do that at your W-2? How many of you fuss at your W-2 and say, you need to pay me more money? You need to give me a more than just a 0.5% pay raise? Then one of y'all. You know, you don't do that. You don't do that. So I want to start a signing service. I would love to, but I'm concerned that the notaries who I will have to select from are people who's going to have this little get rich quick mentality, and it's going to make me look bad. It's going to mess me up. And I got the personality where I will be knocking on your door. I got the personality where you talking about, well, I ain't shipping the documents out. I'm gonna be sending somebody to go collect those documents, because that's a bunch of bull. You see what I'm saying? That's a bunch of bull. And it's a bunch of people in this business that are immature, that don't understand business, that don't want to understand business, and they just want to sit here and try to force somebody's hand because they too sorry to go and make somebody at their W-2 pay them what they're worth there. So you call yourself trying to make somebody pay you what you're worth here. This ain't to my lady from earlier. This is just in general. That's the problem that I have. And I am the kind of person that will 1000% push back on any person that I'm like, I'm paying you a good fee. I'm paying you the reasonable fee for what you need to do. I'm a notary. I know what you need to do. So here's a good fee, and it should take you dot dot dot. And you say that ain't good enough. Why? Well, it's this many pages, or I got to drive this distance. Well, I got to put gas in my car. Okay, your car should have had gas in it. The $40 you spent on gas has nothing to do with this one order, because it's not going to cost you $40 in gas to go do the order. But just because you played around and drove on E all day, all week, and now you got to put $40 worth of gas in your car. Now you want me to pay you extra money because you had to spend 40 or you had to borrow 40? That's not my concern. That's not my problem. That's not the signing company's problem. That's a you problem. You played around. Well, I would say, like back in the day, we used to go get soda bottles and trade them in at 5 cents or 10 cents and get some gas money. Better do something. Go crush some aluminum cans or whatever you got to do. But you can't make me pay you for your incompetence when it comes to making sure that you're prepared. That's like the three little pigs. The one built the thing in straw, the one built it in wood, the one built it in bricks. They played around. I mean, straw, yeah, wood and bricks, and they played around and didn't do it right. That's like those is the parable, the man with the talents. Gave one 10 talents, one 5 talents, one talent. The person with the one talent didn't do anything with it. That's like the Bible, the biblical story of the 10 virgins, 5 wise virgins, 5 foolish virgins. The foolish ones didn't have the oil in their lamp for when the bridegroom came. Bridegroom came, and they got left their behinds. They got their behinds left behind. And the people who was prepared went on with it on their journey. But the people who weren't prepared was asking the people who was prepared, give us some of yours so we can all go. And it's like, if we give you, none of us gonna make it. That's where a lot of notaries are. That's where a lot of people coming into this business are. And I don't have the tolerance to have those kind of people as folk that I need to depend on. I really don't. I don't have the tolerance for it. It's I'm sorry, I don't. It will not be pretty. It would no. Because I will be the type, I'm the type that will fight real hard to get notaries the best pay. But unfortunately, there's too many of you who are caught up in the sensationalism of that BS that's being taught out here by these other people and their offshoots. And you're all caught up in that. And then you're going to do a signing for me where you do the work and then you hold the documents. And then I say, well, you need to scan back. Oh, I already shipped them. I didn't realize I had to scan back. I will send those documents right back to your behind, and you're going to scan them. I don't care if it is 3 days later. And I'm going to hit your E&O insurance. And you're going to scan them daggone documents like you're supposed to and send them at your own daggone dime. We got to stop this mess, y'all. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know who I'm talking about, who's teaching y'all these things. And why are you coming in this business talking, oh, yeah, it's a business of prestige and we're getting dealing with legal things and all of this, that, and the other. And you so worried about making sure you do that, but then you screwing the signing company over or the title company if you work in direct. Nah. Mm-mm, mm-mm. You cannot have me as a signing company owner because it would not be pretty. It would not be pretty because Griff knows some folk. Yo, Javier. Yo, Ubuntu. Yeah. You got the address? Go have a talk with him. Go get me my docs. I'm serious. Because you being gangster with me by holding my documents hostage. You're being gangster with me by telling me you gotta make me, I gotta pay you more money just to do a scan back that you're supposed to do. So if you want to get gangster with me, don't get upset when I get gangster with you to get you to do what you're supposed to do. What your job going to do? You ask for a raise, they give you a 5% pay raise because you claim you underpaid. Okay, now you ain't you now you coming to work late every day. Now you acting sitting up here dressing up like daggone every day is dress down Friday. You can't get nothing done on time. You're acting like James Harden before this situation now, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Uh-uh. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, I would love to. Scan backs don't take that daggone long. They don't. They don't. So it says here, has anyone had any problems with Notary Go? I get orders, but will get an error and I am never able to reach it. That's standard with Notary Go. That is standard with Notary Go. Notary Go always act like that. Now, when you say get an error, what type of error are you talking about? But that's standard with Notary Go. You can't ever get anybody with them. Well, that okay. Do you normally charge a print and or travel fee in the event is canceled? That depends on whether you're doing through signing companies or you direct. How you decide to do it with a direct client, that's between you and them. I'm not going to say that you have to be 50% or whatever. To be honest, I never had a situation with a direct client where or order that if an order did get canceled, that it did get rescheduled. Because most of the time they let me know ahead of time. With a direct client, sometimes they will have the documents already printed for you, so there's no print fee. Um, it's not that big of a deal for me to just go drive up. It's like, okay, it's really not. I mean, I recently did one where they did cancel the order, and I showed up thinking that they was gonna print at the office, the title office, and they were like, "Oh no, they can't. They didn't tell you." No, but I didn't charge them no print fee because they give me good business. I'm getting two C notes. I mean, common sense is like, okay, they sitting up here dropping some orders on me, and you think I'm gonna sit here and fuss over a small trip fee when I know they're and they turn right around and gave me that same order. Say, hey, okay, we got a schedule. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I don't now I know some people are in the cities and Chicago and New York and all of that. That's why I say it's hard for me to say you should do it because your situation was travel and getting from point A to point B is different than mine. Okay. Um Now with the signing companies, they tend to say we're going to pay this. They have what they're going to pay, and then you can push back and say I want more. That's going to be up to them. But in their terms of service, which a lot of people don't read, it says we pay $15 or $25 for a print and travel fee or whatever the case may be. And again, how much does it really cost to print? And how often is that happening? For me, it is not happening that often. It's not really happening enough for me to make a big deal out of it. I mean, very rarely am I getting orders canceled, no shows, or things of that nature. I don't. But the fee, 50% of the fee, that I have to defer back to you because your situation, your travel, congestion, things of that nature, that's going to be on you. That's going to be something you have to decide there, and that's going to be between y'all two. And it's I've done commercial loans for Marcia. Yeah, I love working with Marcia. Marcia is great to work with. She is 100%. Yep, good point. Thank you. Said Mr. G, you are where you are because you point out the hard, put in the hard work and discipline and tell. And if anyone tells you differently, it's not being upfront. Someone once said, "Vision without execution is hallucination," and that is 1,000% correct. I want y'all to start trying to do. Let's just be real. The bulk of the notaries out there within the last 5 years, what is your main focus? What is your main focus? Most people's main focus is how much they're getting paid for doing this job rather than let me go do the job so I can get paid. Because if you do the job, you get paid. But if you're constantly saying, I'm not going to do the job until you say you're going to pay me this, you might not ever get the job. Somebody called me up, found my information on 123 Notary. It's still on that site. Asked me to do a signing form. They paid me $100. And then they called me back up and said, "Hey, we just realized the person who's buying the property, I did the sellers, the person who's buying the property is there in your area." I said, "Okay, I didn't know that." Oh, well, of course, I didn't know it. I was like, "Okay, cool. What you need me to do?" I said, "They said we got two documents. Can you go take care of it today?" That was yesterday. I was like, last minute, came up out of nowhere. I said, "Sure, I'll make it happen." They said, "How much?" I said, I told them, I said, "You know what, whatever y'all want." They said, "No, tell." I said, "For 2 pages now, for two documents, both of them had to be notarized, but with just two documents, the average notary would have been like $100, 175, whatever." I said 40. I heard it ask the attorney, said, "Is that good?" He said, "That's fine." I went and did it. Very little effort was involved. 40. Then somebody called me, sent out an order on SnapDocs for a deed. That's what it said in the thing for a deed. I said, "Yeah, it was $40, TBD, to be determined." I said, "I'll take it. I'll squeeze it in and squeeze it in there somehow." Same day order now. Come to find out, it was a power of attorney, two people signing, one notarizational block. That was it. I pulled up to their house, didn't even have to turn my car off, walked in, didn't sit down, nothing. All I took in there was the folder, a copy for them, copy, the signed copy, my stamp, two pens, and the clipboard. That was it. Went in there, boom, in and out in 5 minutes, made another $40. Yesterday I made $135 altogether. My first order was with Amrock, and that was $55. Didn't take long to do. Went in, went out. Had I not taken those two last minute orders, which a lot of y'all won't take those kind of orders, guess what? I would have only made $55. But instead, I made 135. Now, my goal is to make 300 to 500 a day. Didn't make it, but at least I made more than just 55. I made more than what I was expected to make. That's what mattered to me. Okay. And then, yeah, scan backs don't take that long. Okay, thank you for confirming an error saying that they can't process and need to update my profile. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That profile, this stuff is jacked up when it comes to making sure your profile and stuff. They checked everything was good. Yeah, it's weird with them. It's weird. Can we talk about notaries who accept signings through the app without checking dates, times, and locations? Then, oh yeah, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. My daggone. So notaries accepting signings through the app without checking dates, times, or location, then ask for the signing to be reassigned. That's another reason why some of y'all aren't getting orders. Some of you not getting orders because you got notaries out here. They take the orders up and then they wait because what you're missing out also in here, the time they wait till the last minute to say they can't do the order. They wait till the last minute. They took an order. Let's just say for today they got an order. They didn't check anything. It's for next Friday. They wait till next Friday, 2 hours before the signing to say I can't do it. They see and they didn't check it. They didn't do anything. They finally called a person to confirm, but then they wait till the last minute. Oh no, I ain't gonna do that. Because at first they're like, oh yeah, I go out there. And then they're like, nah, I don't feel like going out there. Man, he got a little soccer game today. Or all of a sudden you'll boo, and it could be a man or a woman or somebody like, yeah, we going out to this here. I got tickets to the game. Shoot, man. And I'm dropping this order. And they wait till the last minute. And that's the kind of stuff that makes people not want to pay y'all. Of course, and me included, but because then I'm falling that too. I'm not doing it, but then I suffer the consequences of that. That is a problem, which is another reason why I'm not I'm not ready to do a signing company. I really am not ready to do a signing company because that right there. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Yep. The most of my signing company money would end up coming from me hitting people's E&O insurance. I will have a lawyer that tells me, okay, study this E&O thing and tell me the legal grounds that I have to hit somebody's E&O insurance. And if the moment you do it, I ain't even telling you. Bam. I'm gonna tell you one time in the contract in my terms of service, you, you do any of these things here, I'm hitting your E&O insurance, no questions asked. In the store. I don't care who you got. Byberg, ER, Monroe, I don't care. You do these things, I'm tearing your E&O insurance up. You got a bond. If I can hit the bond, I will hit the bond. I'm just letting you know right up front. I'm telling you now. Now it says some notaries are printing using retail locations. That's why they think the printing is true. From day one, the whole 5 years I've been in this business, that's what I've heard. I've had so many notaries call me, notaries getting paid $150, but they're saying, well, that ain't enough money because I had to spend so much money on printing. Why are you going to FedEx? Well, I don't have no print. I can't afford it. So you got into the business without having the necessary equipment, without even having the money to buy the equipment. And part of the reason why you don't have money to buy the equipment is because you spent $500 with some dudette to go out here and tell you, oh, this is how you market your business. But they neglected to tell you that you got to print. You got to print. As a matter of fact, this one I'm getting ready to replace that one because it's starting to put some spots on it. I've had that thing for like 3 years, so it's on its last leg, and I got another printer over there. So this weekend I'm switching that one out and everything. I just did this one a couple of months ago, and that was printing fine. But now I gotta switch this one out. And I don't have the time to sit here and change the parts and all of that stuff. I know how to do it. I can buy the parts off of eBay. I just don't have the time to sit down and do it. That's why I got a backup printer over yonder and everything. But yeah, y'all going to retail locations, FedEx, and I'm about to say Kinko's. Old folk know I'm talking about Kinko. FedEx and UPS and Office Max to print because you do not have a printer. That is the biggest problem you have out here. And then you want them to pay you more. So if that's why you're asking for more money because you don't have the necessary printer, you got a printer, but it's an inkjet, not a laser. Hey, so if you're calculating your cost for printing based off of that, that's on you. That's on you. And as a signing company, they're not obligated to pay you more. See, this is the problem that y'all have is that y'all think the signing companies are supposed to work with you like you're a W-2. No, this is business to business, not a business to employee. So if you said you're supposed to be in a position to do this business, then go out there and do it. Well, I can't print, I can't scan. Then why are you doing this business? Because I can make $400 a signing. I can make this, I can make that. Get what I'm saying? Why did you come in here in the first place? Again, the way people market this business determines how people do this business. And they market it to you like it was get rich quick. And you got in here and you found out, it ain't really like that. And now you're scrambling. You can't find a printer. You can't afford a printer. You can't afford a scanner. But you got orders coming in left and right. And then here's what's worse. Here's what makes it bad. You're actually a great notary. You actually do the notary part right, but you don't have the equipment to do it. That should be that. I know that's a frustrating thing. You are good at doing this, but you don't have the equipment to do it. So, and then if you're all the money that you make in the business, you really need it to live off of, you really don't have the money to go buy a printer. Now, if you was working a job or you had a spouse or you had a boyfriend, girlfriend who could hook you up with some money, or uncle or somebody, that would be great. But you probably don't. And all the money that you're making has to go to your bills and your car, and you're trying to keep that car running, all of that stuff. And it's stressing you out. And then you're trying to keep up with your trainer and all of the stuff that they tell you that they want you to pay to them, and they still can't pick up the phone. You see where we at, people? This is the scam part of our business, and I consider it a scam. Let's see what else we got here. Said Latoya, wow, I thought would run the risk of exposing. Well, you can privately print. I mean, you can actually privately print because the way UPS and FedEx is set up, you can sit there and send the documents to an email and then print it at that thing, and you're good. I mean, when I scan, there's nobody around watching. There's nobody that's going to be able to see what I'm doing when I scan and all of that. Because to me, if I had a printer, I could print. I mean, you can print any way you want because you can make sure that nobody looks at the stuff, just like you have to make sure, which can be difficult when you're at the Starbucks or some coffee shop or McDonald's or wherever, Panera, and you're sitting here doing a closing, and then people are looking as they walk by, trying to figure out what you're doing and everything. So you have that aspect. Appreciate the advice, agree with your perspective. Yeah, it's good to see you again, that big man. Some trainers encourage notaries to do what they got to do to start the business. They even had a YouTube interview with a notary who only used retail locations to print. Yeah, see, all of that sounds cute. Again, the trainer is not paying you. Who is paying you? What do the person who's paying you need you to do? You're going in a business agreement between your business and the company, the signing company that has hired you. And they say, we want to hire you for your services to do this. And here's how we need things done. And as long as what they're asking you to do doesn't violate your state law, we should be able to do that. But if what my trainer is telling me could be violating state law, could be violating the agreement that I have with this entity that's paying me, we have a problem. We have a big problem. And I know y'all see this. I know you feel it in your gut. You're just not willing to say it. So that's why I'm saying it. And it's not about calling people's names out. People keep asking me, well, say who they are. It doesn't matter because guess what? If that person goes down, if I said who it was and they just disappeared, it's 15 others gonna pop up. They're telling people to start training companies. So do you got training companies popping up all over the place, like over Redenbacher popcorn and all that kind of stuff. The thing is, you've got to be willing to address the foolishness that's coming out of their mouth. You got to know your state law. You got to remember who works for who. We don't work for the trainers work for us. I'm paying you to educate me. So that means if I have questions, you need to ask. You need to answer them. You need to be there for me. Well, I'm just here to disseminate information. I'm not trying to really, okay, then what am I paying you for? Just to hear me talk. Okay, I don't want to hear you talk. Never mind. I figured out myself. And see, this is why I keep saying y'all can figure this stuff out yourself. But you don't want to figure it out for yourself. You want somebody else to figure it out for you. And part of the reason some people you want to put the onus on another person to figure it out. So that way, if it fails, or if you fail to execute it, you can blame them and say, well, I did what you said, it didn't work. That's why I'm and it's not and I know my man Jermaine wouldn't do it to me, but that's why sometimes I'm sort of reluctant into saying certain things about when it comes to pay and all of that, because if I say it and then it doesn't turn out right, of course it's like, well, I did what Griff said. And it's not that you being you trying to sit, put me down or anything, but that's just true. So like one person asked me, should I get an office space? Okay, if I tell them, yeah, you should get an office space, and then they wind up being in debt behind it because they can't pay the bill, what I did what Griff said. And again, we don't really know each other. We know of each other. I see your thumbnails, but I don't know you to the point to where I need to put my neck out there on the line like that. And I don't expect you to do the same for me. I'm gonna do everything I can to help you within reason, but there's some parts that I believe wholeheartedly that many of you could actually figure out. Some of us don't want to figure out things. We don't want to make that decision because if we make the decision and it fails, it's on us. We tend to want the decision to be told to us so that if it doesn't work out, we know who to blame. Business owner is about taking the blame for yourself, for your actions, for your decisions, for your lack of execution, or for your execution in the wrong thing, not just taking praise for when you actually get it right. Um, yeah, I'm coming for that E&O insurance. I'm telling you right now. If I start a sign, I'm letting everybody know. I'm telling you one time. Here's the 15 things or whatever. You do it, just know that I'm tearing the daggone policy in half. Your policy gonna be so worn out, it's gonna be like, oh my goodness. Will you please learn to notarize right? Will you please drop the document? Your policy gonna get up, gonna tap you in the chest and be like, look, Federico, will you please drop the documents off on time? Because I'm tired of being hauled in there and having my tail ripped out and paying this guy $5,000, $200, or whatever. Stop it. I'm telling you. I'm telling you right now. This is not for play dealing with sign. Yeah. Hey there, Mr. Griff. Do you know what's going on with 123 Notary? I can't reach anyone and no one. I have no idea. People might, I mean, with notaries leaving the business, he might not be making the money anymore. I know it's a guy that runs it, and he might not be pulling in the money anymore, and he might have just said, forget it, and just left it. He's a particular type of person, so he may not want to really return calls and stuff. So I was on the platform, I had a paid account. I had a little conflict with him. I was like, okay, you know what? I ain't got time for this. I felt that he was being very disrespectful Other people have said the same thing, that he can be a little rude in his communications with you. And I'm the type, if I'm paying you, I don't need you to be rude to me. So if I'm paying you and you're gonna be, then I'm gonna stop paying it. That's how I operate. So and I don't beg anybody for anything, so nope, nope. But if I find out something, I most definitely do a video on it. It said Jeremy went on a hiatus, religious reasons. Okay, so that's his nature. Okay, so yeah. Again, this is why I'm trying to encourage y'all to figure out how to do it yourself. How to go out here and do things yourself without having to spend $500 with every single person that pops up and says, I can help you. You know, now something I want to talk about, and I meant to talk about it earlier, and I thank y'all for all and keep the questions coming, please, please. And also, thank you for hitting the like button on the video. Yeah, hit the like button and everything. We got 24 likes in here, looks like. Um, let's pop some more on here. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button and everything. Um, I really appreciate it. It helps the channel, because YouTube pushes the video out more when the more likes, and especially with the comments and stuff. Okay, thank you, Tanya. Thank you. I'm available 24/7. Calls come in at 3 so I give them 5 pieces of something. So give me the 5 pieces of the settlement statement. Now, here's something I want to talk about, and I'm gonna pull and I like the question the gentleman asked. Okay, so it wasn't nothing wrong with him asking this. Um, I just got to find it. Question he asked me earlier today. If I can, all right, come on, come on, there we go. All right. Um, hold on. Let me see. I'm gonna have to. Sir, hold on 1 second. All right. Oh man, where is? Hold on 1 second, yo. Hold on. If I can, shoot. And I always have a hard time finding these comments, and I think, hold on. Let me see. Oh man. Oh man, it was a great question from a gentleman today. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. All right. All right. Okay. Okay, I found it. Okay. Let me see if I can. All right. Oops. My bad, y'all. All right. So let me show y'all that. I like the question, and I'm gonna talk about it. Let me see if I can. I'm about to zoom in. So my man here, Matthew, great question. He said, Griff, do you go through the loan package as it was received, or do you start with the first main 7 to start off in these documents here? Now, this here strictly comes from multiple trainers saying this is what you should do. Here's the issue that I have. Here's the issue that I have. And I said it in my response. None of the signing companies, well, none of the title companies, the people who put the document together, have ever told me that I have to do that I have to go through these documents first. Never. Okay. They never said that. They never said that at all. So he goes on and says here, and then put all these documents back in order, or just mail them off, I guess, as is, out of order. Most of the companies will tell you leave the documents in the order that you received them. So this idea that you have to pull them out and go over these particular ones first may came from a trainer who had a particular client that told them that for their situation, but you say, hey, no, well, I don't pay signing services, and Jeremy, 123 Notary is not a signing service. They're just a notary database where notaries can list themselves, and you can pay to be. And I tried it, and I'll be honest, I made the money back within 2 weeks. I paid $99, and somebody called me up and paid me like $300 to do a signing. I was like, okay, I made my money back. Bam. So I still get calls from people on that site that see my profile, and I'm not paying to be listed up there, but I got a good profile. A matter of fact, I got to update it, and I do great work, and the people who have worked with me know that I do good work, so they say, okay, Griff is a good guy. So I'm like, well, there's no need for me to pay, and the only way I won't get any work unless he does something to mess with my profile, not accusing him or anything. I'm just being honest. That's the only way that I couldn't, because right now I haven't paid for them in over almost 2 years, and I still get work from people who go there and they pull me up, and I'm probably one of the few notaries that's still popping out here and doing it, you know. But the thing is with this here, so this is what they asked, and it was a great question because I know somebody's telling him in order to go out here and do these loan closings, you have to do this. This is the way it's supposed to be done. My question is, did that come from the signing company that's paying you? If it's not coming from the person that's paying you, then why are you doing it? Well, my trainer told me, well, you paid your trainer to train you, and they need to make sure that what they're saying to you is something that is applicable to everybody. And then, of course, they was like, well, no, this is just the way I do things. So then you need to clarify before you start having me go out here and try to do something that the people who are paying me don't want done. So let's just take it from this perspective. And I'm gonna get back to this, show y'all my response. So let's take it from this perspective. Earl or Earlina trains you to do this. And they've trained thousands or hundreds of other people to do this. And that signing company doesn't like it. They don't like it. They're like, I don't like that. Stop doing that. And they get to the point they say, well, you know what? We're not going to mess with anybody who has taken training from Erolina because they keep telling notaries to do this crazy stuff and we don't want them to do that. So now you come along, you don't know anybody, you don't know, and you do the same thing. What makes you think they're going to want you? Because they've already internally said, we don't want to rock with people who do this. Now you put in your profile, I took training from Erolina, and hold on. Okay, gotcha. I got it, Tanya. So you take training from Erolina and you put it in your profile. Well, if I know that there's things that Erolina is doing that I don't really jive with, then guess what? I'm not using you. That's a smart business thing. Y'all heard me say when I was asked about sign. If I know that these people are taking trainings and they doing stuff that I know that don't need to be done in a closing, I'm not messing with you. I'm not. Why mess with somebody who's doing some jacked up stuff that's making my business look bad, that's doing things opposite of what I want? I'm paying you. The trainer is not paying you to do anything. That's the truth of the matter. There's some great signing companies out there. They pay well. I know you may not think that, but they do pay well. Because some of them, percentage wise, they pay Some of them are paying you 80% of what they get. So their fee is $100, then they're paying you 80 and they keep 20. There's some signing companies that do that. Marcy pays us 75% of the signing fee that she gets. So when you're getting 115, 125, 275, 300, you're getting 75% of the fee that gets paid to her. She's keeping 25. How can you argue with that? There's no company out there that you work for in the W-2 world that will ever pay you, that your salary, your hourly rate will be 75% of what they get paid. It's not gonna happen. You know that. Whew. So that's the thing. So you have to keep that in mind. You got to keep that in mind. Okay. So let me go back to this, and then I have to try to catch up with the comments and stuff. And I appreciate the comments and the likes, y'all. So told them this here. I said, every document I have seen that I have is seen by the signers. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. Make sure y'all can see that clearly. I don't shuffle the order. I don't do that 7 doc thing. I have never been directed by a title or lender company that doing so is a requirement. I feel that trainers say that as a way to make us feel like we're really doing something special and justify the money spent with them. Nowadays, about 95% of my closings, the signers have either e-signed or reviewed without e-signing before the closing. Plus, per my state laws, I'm not to go over the docs. That should happen before I get there. I would like the trainers to show me state statute to support the 7 docs or the need for notaries to explain guys, signers through the documents. And then they said, thanks, you're the best, and all of that. So my thing is this, normal size. So my thing is this, people going to teach what they want to teach. And I've always said this, people train you out of their experience. A Florida notary, a Texas notary, is a trainer is going to train you out of their experience, out of what because they have not experienced being a notary for all 50 states. So they can only tell you based off of what they do in their state. And then especially if they're direct. So if they're direct and they're not rocking with signing companies, they're going to tell you how things roll with the people who they directly work with. And the people who they directly work with may not be, and probably won't be, the people who you directly work with. So you got 2 different entities here, Texas title companies, Virginia title companies. I'm in Virginia, Virginia title companies, and they operate different. And they got different requirements and different state mandates. Then you got Georgia, which is an attorney state, Indiana, attorney state, Maryland, where people have to have a tip license, just like in Indiana. So now you have all of these, and this person is trying to train you to do a business in your state, in their state. And how can you honestly say you're truly being taught correctly? Now, you say, but there's so many people that say they're being successful. Yes, because they probably already understood how to be a notary. They already understood that, and then you pull in the marketing part and advertising and all of those little intricacies. Yes, they're going to pop lock and make some money because they already had the necessary skill set for his understanding how to be a good or great notary. Also, they had hookups. They had people in the industry that looked out for them. Maybe the trainer is looking out for them, saying, because they took my training, I'm gonna tell Francis over here to use you. That could be the deal. Who knows? Let me see. Okay. Okay. I'm just seeing if I'm missing anything. All right, cool. Not missing anything. Messenger. So that's the thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if they're trying to say, I'm making all this money, and they got help in the back office there, and they got people hooking them up, and they got people that's like, you Bill's little girl, no problem. Look, what you want, how many orders, look, whatever fee you want, you got folk, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when they market themselves as if they're in the struggle like you, That's disingenuous. And some people are marketing themselves as I'm your trainer, I'm your mentor, and they didn't have to have, they didn't struggle. They not, they don't have nothing going on. They are like, they they good. And then they got what? A husband or a wife that got 2 retirements and they working at the post office on a 3rd retirement check. Okay. All right. So let me see. Let me catch up with some of these here. Um, his partner who helped him run the directory also passed away a few years ago. Gotcha. Speaking of, has anyone signed up? I did. I haven't gotten anything from them, and I haven't even gone back and did it. And I think Apprentice also did it. Signed up for Find a Notary. I need to check them out. Yeah, check your online profiles. I signed up, and yeah, no calls yet. I haven't gotten any either. What are some of the safety things we need to keep in our bag, in our car during an appointment? Whatever you feel you need, girl. Depending on your state law and what your state law says you can have, you put whatever. I got mace, I got taser, I got my feet that don't run as fast as they used to, but I'm always watching, I'm always paying attention, I'm always, I got hold on. I'll show you one of the things that I have for safety. Now it costs a pretty penny. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you whatsoever. It costs. Let me put the link in there. It green car I got this ring car cam. It works great. I haven't had any problem. I ain't gonna lie. 244. That's some dollars. I bought it when it was like 215. They had it on sale, and right now they out of stock. But that thing, it works just like the ring doorbell. It records in the cloud. You can see stuff on your app. It has a front facing camera, rear facing camera, all of that. You can get all kinds of stuff. And then like it has this little thing here, that little red thing there, that's the lens, and it closes up so it doesn't record on the inside of the car. And then you can see, and it has a location thing. So I like that. So I have cameras on my car. I have at least, I have that one. But when it comes to being safe, whatever you feel is necessary so you can stay safe, stay safe. I call them, get your little beat me stick, a little small Louisville slugger. If you want to throw some nails in it, whatever you need to do to feel safe, you do. I have not had a problem with anybody rolling up on me within my notary realm. House inspections, yeah, but notary, never had anybody bother me, roll up on me. Now, one of the things that I do when I go into neighborhoods, and let's say if it's a low income neighborhood, whether black, white, whoever, Hispanic, Asian, it don't matter. If there's people outside, when I get out the car, or even as I'm driving in, I wave and I acknowledge them. I don't act like they don't exist. So we go there, we're dressed, we're looking all sharp and dapper Dan, and then you see some people, they just sitting there, pants sagging, got the hoochie mama skirts on, this, that, and the other. I speak to them like they regular people. What's going on, party people? How y'all doing over there? And they look, hey, what's going on? Man, I'm doing good, man. How your family doing? Man, family. You ask a hard dude, how your family doing, bro? And this is me to the men. If you see some dudes over there that look like they might be game bangers. And I go over there and sometimes I just throw my head back. I throw the peace sign up. I ain't doing all that. But what's up, man? How y'all doing today? Good, man. How your fam doing? Good. And they might say, how's yours? Fam doing good, still dealing with my sons, making sure that they understand how to be a man. You say that to them, they're like, yo, word, man, I got you. You just made a connection with them. That's all. And sometimes, and and if I'm sitting there and I've actually literally just had a little bit of like a 2 or 3 minute conversation with them and everything, and they might even ask me, so what brings you out here, Chief? Like, oh man, I'm a notary. I just, I go around notarizing documents for people because sometimes folk don't have banks, a bank account. And this is true. If you don't have a bank account, you can't go in there and get something notarized. You got important papers and people, you know, need something notarized and they won't do it because you ain't got a bank account with them. So I help people out with that. Oh, word, man. I said, you want my card? Here's my card, man. And I even tell them this, check out my YouTube channel. I said, name on my business. Just look on Griffin Notary and check me out sometime. All right, dog, I will. And I've actually seen people later on because I've gone back into them same neighborhoods and they're like, yo, man, I checked you out. I saw you, man. You be tripping on that channel, man. Now they may not look at it all the time. I said, man, I appreciate it. If you can, man, make sure you subscribe at least for a little bit, and all of that. That's what I do. I'm respectful to the women out there. I don't care how they dress, how they act, how they talk. So when I go into these neighborhoods, and then I go into the upper neighborhoods that may not like it, that they've been in, and I've been in all white neighborhoods, and I'm riding through there, and they looking like, okay, what the brother is doing here? They looking at like, we got one of them. What is he doing in here? And I say, how y'all doing? I say, hey, look, I'm looking for 1612. Is that way or back that way? I don't got lost. I already know which way it is. And I even turn my GPS off so they won't. And they're like, oh, it's down there. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So what brings you out here? Oh, I'm a notary, just signing some documents for one of your neighbors down the street here. Oh, okay. Now they're like, oh, okay. It's okay. You can be in here, sir. Okay, thank you. I'm just being real with y'all. Okay. I'm being real with y'all. Um, let's see. Yeah, 6 months. Thanks for confirming. Signed up on Friday. Yeah, I gotta go back. Say that again. I'm telling you, look, I don't make anybody feel bad when I go into the neighborhoods. Look, the kids, if the kids are out there, like I was out there, kid, they was playing with a tennis ball came down there. I got the ball, was throwing it back with them. I've actually pulled up and started shooting basketball with little kids and stuff. I just try to have fun because this can be a very stressful business trying to do all that we do and then dealing with the daggone signing companies and title companies and your daggone trainer trying to pull more money out you that you don't have. And sometimes it's like, okay, let's play some basketball. And you play. When I get to the people's house, I know not everybody likes animals. I'm cool with the dogs. I go over there, hey, what's going on, doggy? This, that, and the other. I normally have a laser with me, a little laser pointer. And if there's cats, I play with the cats with the little laser for a little bit, just to set the atmosphere, just to get everybody calm. Because I've been in houses, and I'll be honest with you, majority of the people I go into are not black, they're white. And some of them, they looking at me like, okay, they looking like they're not as, and they got their quirkies. I'm in there and I see an AR-15. YouTube, I'm just describing it. I ain't talking about but I see that AR and that 1.5 sitting there, handguns, shotguns. I'm gonna make them feel real. Hey, yeah, what's going on? I ain't acting all coonish and stuff, but I'm just telling y'all, these are the things that you going in there dealing with, and they're nervous. They're like, okay. hmm. So I'm gonna say this here, and and please don't take this the wrong way, people. But even when it comes to the estate planning, a lot of the lawyers who do estate planning, a lot of the people who are getting estate planning done, and you have me up there. And some people are very particular about certain groups of people seeing their money, because when you're doing estate planning, you sort of get to see people's money. So you got to have your act together so that the attorney who is comfortable with you can make his clients comfortable with you being there. Because if the attorney is used to working with, and the clients are used to just, and then you come up in there, I'm just being real with you. This is the world we live in. You cannot, ladies, get rid of the blonde hair. Dudes, button your shirt up and stop having your chest hair showing. Stop walking up in there with your little super tight pants on and all of that kind of stuff. You gotta work, you gotta read the room and operate within the confines of where you're at and realize who you're dealing with. And you can be successful in there. But if you're rolling up in there with the you gonna have to pay me more money. Uh-uh. You can't be all Shanae up in there. You can't be all hustle man up in there. Okay, you can't be all what's that dude Bundy from Wife with Kids and Stewie and all of that kind of stuff. Well, man, he said he got 3 leads off of there. I ain't got nothing. I learned a long time ago that that nepotism thrives. Yeah, and I'm fine with that, and I get it. I honestly get it, but I don't like it when people front like they don't have nepotism, and then they make you feel bad. Like, I don't know why you can't be successful like me. All I did was just picked up a notary stamp and boing, life just happened. All of the notary stuff just fell up in my lap. Well, maybe that's why I can't get it, because it's all in your lap and everything. Can we ask to do a signing outside on the porch? I mean, you can ask, but if they don't want to, I don't want to be out there on no porch because it's winter. It's so daggone windy around here. So if you're in an area where it's wind, there's a chance your paper's gonna be flying all over the place, and they got kids inside and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So it may not be ideal. And I'm from Florida. I live in Virginia, but I'm a Florida guy. So that cold don't ain't cool with that. I want to learn how to do purchasing. All right, well, look, simply put, there's purchase and buyer pact are no different than a refi. There's papers that they sign, there's papers that you sign. There's nothing special. There's nothing more for you to say. There's nothing. Now, if you're thinking that, well, you need to say something, there's nothing for you to say, because they know they're buying the property. They know they're selling the property. It's their responsibility to read the documents and to understand and know what they're signing. It's not our responsibility, unless your state law says so, for you to try to explain or educate them on what they're buying or what they're selling. I mean, they pretty much know what they're selling. You know, all they want to know is how much money they're getting back. And you show them, okay, here's the closing disclosure. There's where you're getting the money back. That's all. That's not. There's never been a sellers where people wanted to know anything outside of how much money I'm getting back. Never. They never asked me, what do these documents mean? The only document that confuses them is that one where they have to ask the true false questions about the property and all that. And we're not legally allowed to guide them because it's a tax form and stuff. A purchase, they know what they're purchasing, they know why they're purchasing it. They just check the money. Yep, that money is straight. And then they sign the rest of the documents. So there's really not like, I haven't seen a difference. And I think last week, was it last week, that I showed a purchase on here, either last week or the week before, and everything, Yeah, look, we just got to have fun with this business. We can make things happen with this business. Now, feel free to hit me up. I'd be messing things up. Feel free to hit me up and everything if you need any more help and all of that. But there's nothing to it now. Yeah, there's nothing to it. Yes, there's some companies that may, well, we want you to say this or that. If it's outside the scope of what your state says you're supposed to be saying about a document, you ain't supposed to be doing that anywhere. Kara. Okay. Kara. Okay, gotcha. So hit me up. The email notary help at griffin.notary.com. Make sure you include a phone number so I can call you. But and I know a lot of people think I'm against trainers. I'm not against trainers. I'm against people who fake the funk to get money out of you, and you still not where you need to be at. That's okay up there in Buffalo. Gotcha. That's my issue. People fake the funk, make you feel bad for not being on their level, and you still not where you need to be at. You're still struggling because you're trying to implement something that they told you that may not necessarily be right. Okay. And like Priscilla said, definitely can explain documents here in Canada because it's like giving legal advice. And if a customer asks me, I get their loan officer or signing company on the phone. That's legally what we're supposed to be doing. You know, I'll take the risk and just make mistakes until I. No, trust me, get with me. You ain't gonna be making no mistakes. If you look at the videos I got out there, you'll understand what to do. If you understand how to fill out the notarial certificate for New York, you good. You good. And I think y'all are attorney state. So if you're there with the attorney's going to be, running their mouth and saying whatever they got to say, and then you just do your part of notarizing. The key thing is notarize properly. If you can notarize properly, then you're going to be fine. That's what matters. If you're not notarizing properly, then it doesn't matter what you say about the documents because it's what you've done with the documents that's going to be the problem. It says, I get it, some, if not many trainers make the whole loan process intimidating and it only hinders newbies for questioning everything or not taking. Yeah, it makes you question everything. So they make it complicated. The more complicated it is, the more questions you have. It's simply this. It's best that I show you. It's best that I show you. Okay. Let me just show y'all this real quick. And I've shown this before. And let me pull this up. Okay. So let me pull this part up. Let me pull this other thing up. Um, Let me pull this up. Okay. Where is one? Okay. So here's a good example. And all right. Okay, I got that. And then let me pull this back up over here. Where the heck are you? All right. Pull you out, put you down there. All right. So simply put, we as notaries are to notarize the signatures that are on a document. So that means, and these are some examples that I put together for some training that I used to do. So right here, this here is a notarial certificate. Okay. I've just changed the names to protect the innocent and the non-innocent. All right. So this is for Michigan in McCobb County. You're in Buffalo, New York, Kara. So the question then becomes, does this document, this notarial certificate, have the elements that your state says it needs to have in order for you to use it? It's either yes or no. Now, what are the elements? I have no idea. I have not looked up what the state of New York says your notarial certificate should have. However, if you get to a point where you're like, well, I need a notarial this, if it doesn't, then what you can simply do, if you have an NNA membership, I'm not pushing them, I'm just saying their hotline membership, and you could go to the state of New York. Where the heck is New York? Oh, state of New York, and here they have an example of an all-purpose acknowledgement that is supposed to be for New York. You click on it, you open it up, and this here is New York all-purpose acknowledgement, real property law 309-A. And in here, it has all of the elements that you need to have. If this does not have all the elements, and you will have to check with your state and figure out what elements your state says you're supposed to have. If it does not have all the elements, then what you simply do is you use the notarial certificate for your state. So if it's an acknowledgement that is on there, then you replace it with an acknowledgement. Now, some people say, well, if you need to talk to them, I mean, if they have an acknowledgement, it's sort of clear that they want an acknowledgement here, but it doesn't have the right elements. So you do it. Now, if it does not have a notarial certificate at all, and they say, well, this needs to be notarized, then you have to ask them, which one do you want? An acknowledgement or a jurat? And you have to know what the difference is and explain that to them so that they can make a determination. We don't pick it for them. But in this case, they've already said what it should be. It does not have the necessary elements. So you get one that does. And then theirs have these instructions and all of that. So it's clear the state, the county, the date, the undersigned personally appeared, the person of who it is, any additional signer. They have their statement here, your signature, your printed name, the county which originally qualified you, I guess the name of the county which you got qualified, your expiration, the name of the county which the notarial certificate character field, if required, which I don't know what all that means, but you would. And then the optional part for is the type of document and all of that you're doing this for. That is simply it. And then let's say if it's a jurat, here's the jurat statement. Looks like the one from my state. And then you fill this out. If the one that you have on the document doesn't have the necessary elements that your state has. If I thought about it, I would go look it up, but Virginia has 7 elements that we're supposed to have on a notarial statement. And as long as that notarial statement has those 7, I can use it. If it doesn't, I can either handwrite them in or use one of these, okay, for my state. That is simply it. That is it in a nutshell. Now, everything else, I don't know what the heck they're talking about. Yes, there's nuances with the law of this and law. Okay, fine. Then you go and study and figure that out. Okay, the NNA is a good resource. They have the notary assist, and then more likely your state will be able to help you and guide you in understanding. So if all of that is done with them, and none of the trainers are teaching you how to figure this part out, meaning the notary part, then what's the point of kicking it with them? And again, I know some trainers and people, they go Griff again. I'm not trying to mess your business up. I'm just saying, learn how to be a good notary first, then go to them for the marketing and everything else. Too many people have gone to them first for the marketing, never got themselves situated on the notary part, and you're jacking things up. I didn't freeze. I just wanted to let that sink in for a second. You went and learned that business, the supposed business side of it, but you didn't learn how to do the actual business, which is notarized. You didn't learn that part. You learned how to market. You got people calling you. You don't have a printer. You don't have a scanner, and you don't know how to notarize properly. And you're sitting here trying to figure out why nobody won't mess with you, why nobody don't want to have nothing to do with you. because the people who you kicking it with, who you first learned from, don't did not and will not teach you what you really need to know for the people who are paying you. It goes back to the people who are paying you. The person paying you wants you to be able to do something. Can you do what the person who's paying you need you to do? It's either yes or no. You want your hair done a certain way. Can they do it? Yes or no. You want your floors done a certain way. Yes or no. You want your oil changed. Is it yes or no? Can you do this? I'm paying you. When you're paying somebody, you want them to be able to do the thing that you're paying them to do. So why do you act like that doesn't apply to the notary business? That's the part I don't understand. People act like in the notary business, it does not apply when it comes to you. You can, yeah, you're paying me, but I'm gonna do whatever I want. Yeah, you're paying me, but I'm gonna do what my trainer says. And then when what the trainer told you doesn't work out, now you're telling them, no, you're gonna pay me anyway. Oh, I didn't pay you to implement what your trainer said. I paid you to notarize the signatures on this document, and you can't do that. It says, yeah, if there's no additional signer, do you cross out the line to be sure that no fields are left blank? You don't have to cross it out because who's going to get a hold of it? I mean, why would you know what I'm saying? I mean, you can, I guess, but if the document came from them to you and then it's going from you to them, what purpose does it serve for the people when they get it at the title office to add somebody's name in there? Who would add the name in there? At what point could that happen? Because the question then becomes, when you left the signing, did you go to the club and did you bring the documents in there with you and set them on the counter there and then go to the restroom and then somebody sitting there drunk and start adding their name in there? That's where the chain of the chain of custody has to be straight. So who would put some other name on there? How would they do it? Would it be Man and TT when you're at home and you know, and you went downstairs to do something and they ran upstairs and started writing the name in there on the second signer name, putting Man in there? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I get it now. Simply put, you can ask them, do you want me to do that? Or you could put a line through it in a or what have you. But again, who is going to get a hold of the documents? And that's the question. Who's going to get a hold of the document? Because there's some documents that have 6 or 8 signature lines. Only 2 of them getting filled in for the 2 borrowers. But they don't want you filling in all these other blanks with NA and all of that. And I've talked about that about a year or two ago. You need to call them and ask them, do they want you to do that? Because these documents aren't yours, it's theirs. So do they want you to put a line through and put NA? Because they put the names on the document, John Jones, Jane Jones. And then there's 4 other signature spots, and they left them blank. Sort of clear that, okay, they don't want that done. And even if it does say borrower on each, how many borrowers are for this loan? Well, there's only 2. So how many are listed on that page? Well, at the top it says John Jones and Jane Jones. Okay, so if them 2 are listed at the top and they signed it, and then all of a sudden you see these other signatures, who the heck are they? Because it's not like somebody's going to take it and see 5 additional signatures and be like, oh well. No, it's like, wait a minute, wait a minute. Why this 5? Because it's only supposed to be 2. I'm confident they have some checks and balances at the title office to double check that. How many signers? 2 or 3 or 1. How many signatures? I see 17 signatures. Okay, we got a problem. What the heck happened? So who got a hold of the documents between the notary dropping them off and us getting them? Was it FedEx, UPS? If it was, then we got to have a talk with them, you know. So I don't do it. I'll be honest, I don't do it. I just, and I haven't had any I mean, nobody's gotten the documents from me to start putting in, Earl Aloysius in there, anything of that nature. Um, yeah, and there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's nothing wrong with doing that. It's nothing wrong with doing that at all. My thing is when people make it seem like you have to do it, and then the question becomes if the title company or the signing company, and mostly mainly the title company or the lender says, we don't like that, are you going to have a conniption and say, well, I ain't doing no closing for you? This ain't to Caprentice, but to other people, because I know Caprentice knows what to do. But you like, well, I ain't doing it because I got to do this. Why you got to do it? Go ahead on and say it. My trainer told me to. What does your state law says? What does the people who are paying you say? Are you more concerned about doing what your trainer said or the people who paying you say that doesn't violate your state law? Which one is more important to you? That's the question that I had to ask myself. Which one is more important? Doing what the person who I'm paying tells me to do? Because what they're saying is a suggestion. It's their opinion. It's not fact because they don't know what my client wants. Because remember now, I have a client. My client is the title company. It's the signing company. It's the lender. And they want me to do things this way. Does it violate state law? Nope. Then there's no reason for you to do it. May not make sense. Yeah, I'll be honest. I'll be like, this don't make sense. But I'm gonna do it. And I had to learn to do that. I had to learn to, okay, let me just go in and do this. It don't violate my state law, even though it don't make sense. But since it doesn't violate my state law, I will do this thing that y'all are asking me to do. And that was a hard pride pill for me to swallow. But I did, and everything is popping like it should be. And I'm getting the orders and all of that. And it doesn't bother me anymore and stuff, and everything. And mainly the thing was adding my title on the document, even though it's in my notary stamp. In my notary stamp, it says who I am, Notary Public. But they're like, no, you got to write it in where it says title. And I'm like, but it's on my stamp. Why do I said, what, fine, forget it. Forget it. It ain't breaking state law, so fine. Okay. And a lot of time that's a signing company requirement. And that signing company requirement is based off of the signing company owner because that's the way they do it. Not necessarily that it's legal to do it or it makes the document more valid or make the notarization valid. It's this is just the way, you know, Samuel, the signing company owner, likes to do it. That's the way he did it, and that's what he wants from the notaries. But then now you're getting into the realm of treating me like I'm an employee. When you start wanting me to do stuff that fits your personality and all of that, when I'm an independent contractor, that's a whole nother beast right there. Agree, you can do it, but it's not a requirement. I work with title companies and they check all of that before recording of the documents are done so that ownership is assigned correctly. Yeah. And see, that's what I'm saying. Some of the people out there, and it's nothing wrong with doing it. My concern is when people make it seem like somebody's going to get a hold of the documents and add in 15 other names. And my question is, how the heck is that going to happen? Because again, the documents come to me digitally. I download them, I print them. They don't leave my possession. I take them there, they sign them. They haven't left my possession. I scan them back. They haven't left my possession. I put them in a plastic envelope and FedEx envelope, UPS, and I take them to the daggone shipping place. And that's when it leaves my presence. So from the time I drop it off at FedEx, UPS, until the time it got to you, somebody from that company opened the package up and added names to every single signature line in there. That's the only way that can happen. only way. So, all right, party people, 2 hours, 24 minutes, time to bounce on up out of here. As always, I appreciate y'all, appreciate the gift. And if y'all look at any of my old videos and even this video, and you like what you're hearing, just hit that little heart, that little super thanks, throw $1 on to you, bro. I appreciate it. If you don't, I still appreciate you. You know that, because it ain't about the money, but you know, people tell me I'm supposed to promote that kind of stuff, so I do. But it's all about love and respect for y'all and making sure that y'all are successful in this business to the best of your ability. You have every right to question anybody who you're paying to make sure that the information you're getting is correct. Just like the people who are paying you will question you about what you're doing and why you're doing it and why you didn't do, because we're paying you. We have an agreement to pay you, but you're not doing, we don't feel you're doing what you're supposed to do. We got to have a conversation. I'm paying you, trying to teach me some things, and it seems like what you're teaching me is not really what my state wants me to do. We need to have a conversation. That's really where it's at. Now, if I'm wrong in that assessment, please tell me. Please tell me, you know. But I honestly believe that, in other areas of our life, the people we pay, Cheesecake Factory, almost made me go to the Cheesecake Factory and get me a slice. Might just do it anyway. But whether the Cheesecake Factory, Bellows, I was Applebee's, Cane's, Chick-fil-A, it don't matter. Wherever you go, you're paying them to provide a service to you, and you expect them to do what they're supposed to do. You expect them to do what they're supposed to do. Your job pays you, and they expect you to do what you're supposed to do. You give your kids an allowance, and you expect them to what? Do what you're paying them to do. So why do you not expect the notary trainer to do what you expect them to do? Which means you need to vet them and vet, okay, what are you really training me? What are you really teaching me? I'm running a deal right now. Okay. But I need to go learn how to be a notary first. I get back with you. But no, 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 no. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. I can't leave. Wait a minute. I can't go. You telling me I got us? Red flag, red flag, red flag. Thank you very much for the super sticker, Dreams. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Priscilla. Y'all got to go into the business interviews and look at the interview me and her did together. Great interview, great interview. Were you going to talk about? I did. And I do a quick recap just for you, Larry. So the bottom line is this: there's no legal requirement that we have to go and present these 7 critical documents, 7 major documents, because every single one of them needs to be signed. And if any document, meaning not just the 7, but all of the pages in there need to be signed. So I don't understand what you can do. And I meant to say this earlier, so thanks for bringing it back up. The 7 critical documents that they tell you, that the trainers tell you to be so concerned about, you can pull those out for the signer's copy. Keep your copy that you got to get signed in order. Pull those 7 documents out, hand them the documents and say, here. And then you can put a little tab or something that says, everything in front of this tab, take a look at. Review that real quick before we get started. And they go through and look them all over and everything's good, then okay, we get rock and rolling. Why pull everything out and then try to shuffle it back in? Because when you get busy with 6, 7 signers a day, even 3 to 4, you will forget to reorganize those back in order. And if you do forget to do that, now you getting yourself in trouble, because they're like, why are these documents not in order? We told you in a thing to put. Well, my trainer said, we said, the people paying you said, but my trainer said, why are you doing what your trainer said? we said do it this way. So I don't worry about this 7 critical documents. I've heard of that. I don't even focus on that. I get there, everybody does what they need to do. The people more than likely have looked the documents over ahead of time. And I'm like, all right, cool. Now, if you want to roll that way, you're gonna do what you want to do. And I'm not saying this as a personal thing toward you, Larry. I'm just saying this in general. That I know that we're grown people, we're gonna do what we want to do, and that's fine. Just as long as you don't get yourself hemmed up by not putting the documents back in order. But being efficient, why would I create more work for myself based off of what this person told me to do that's not paying me? And the people who are paying me told me to do it a different way. They told me to leave the documents as is. So apparently those documents aren't that critical to them because they know every document needs to be seen and get signed. You see, that's the part that doesn't make sense. Where did this requirement come from? And why is it so important that it be done? And then Rosie said, Griff, I got to get up at 4 a.m. Okay, no problem. I'm going to be up early too. And all of that. Yep, my trainer said to do those first. Thanks. That's what I was thinking about the order, putting them back. Yeah, I'm going to tell you. It's a kicker. It's a butt kicker you can fit. Now, I will say this, Larry. The only document that I've ever pulled out that I actually still do pull out and put to the front that no one has a problem with is the U.S. Patriot Act. The reason why, because they want to see that the two IDs or the one ID stuff has been filled out. So I normally pull that out so that when I do my logbook, I'm also go ahead on and do the Patriot Act instead of doing the logbook, going through all the documents, and then halfway through it in the back, then I got to pull the IDs out again. I go in and do all of that up front. So any ID verification paperwork, I do that at that time. I do it at that time. I pull all of so if I get a chance and even if I don't prep, I thumb through and I pull all the ID verification paperwork out. Or what I will do is in Adobe, I will shift them around. You can go in Adobe into the organized pages and grab all of your ID verifications and move them to the front. So I'll do that, print the things out, and then I go back and put them back in order. So I will print the signer's copy out with everything in order, and then I'll print my copy out the way I need it to be. That's the only thing I actually move around is the Patriot Act or the ID verification. So that's I pull those at the front. That's it. No one has ever told me to do that. I don't run. This very rarely I even talk about that, but that's what I do, and I've never been criticized for doing that. I have been criticized when I pulled the note and this, that, and the other. And I'll be honest, I did it just to see what would happen. And every time I do it or have done it in the past, I got fussed at. So take it for what it's worth, but that's what it. And even if I did, and if they wanted me to pull the thing, you can still something like that, the ID verification, you can put those back. But to pull 7 individual documents out, especially when they don't put the note halfway in the back, the deeds 20 pages past that, the daggone altar 15 pages in front of that, oh, I ain't got time for that. And when you got 7 closings you're doing, I'm telling you, you don't have time to be wasting. Time is money. All this here talk about money and all this, that, and the other. Why? To me, your trainer just is causing you to waste time, especially if you got to put those documents back. That's a waste of my time to do that. I'm not getting paid for that. How would they know that whether or not I pulled those 7 out? Are they checking to see if I did that? All right. Let me get on up out of here. Y'all have a good one. It's almost midnight on the East Coast here. But again, I greatly appreciate each and every one of y'all. Y'all are fabulous, fantastic, and all that good stuff. we're gonna be okay, y'all. And I will continue to keep y'all up to date on things. Check out the community tab so that way you can, I post videos of things up there for y'all. So we're gonna be okay. I just need y'all to stay focused and confident in who you are and your ability to do this business. And I think you'll be just fine. All right. Well, y'all have a good evening. Talk to y'all later. Peace.